Hey everyone, this is RonnygoBOOM, and I'm here to showcase a trap that I showed off in my last video. I was asked to make a tutorial, so I'm going to break it down into steps and show you how to make it. So here's the trap. Basically you just step on these. There's a proximity trap behind this wall that will trigger that trap, this trapdoor to open. And then I fall down, and because my wolf is there to trigger those slime blocks to pop out, he will also trigger these doors to open. And let's see, I have to be up here in order for it to work, because that wolf has to go up the stairs. So that wolf will trigger those slime blocks to allow me to bounce up into my secret room instead of falling to my death like everyone else would, because they don't have that wolf action that I do, because that wolf is mine. So this trap is made of several components. First, we'll go over the proximity detector. The proximity detector is the one that I invented, this ocelot one. Basically, you just have to build a small 2-high wall around an ocelot that's attached to a fence post using a lead. And if it's 5 blocks of air between the ground and this fence post, so this is 6 blocks above the ground, you only have to put the pressure plates 2 away, which is not very far. It works if you put these blocks here. Oops, I didn't mean for that to happen. It works if you put these 2 blocks here, but it works a lot better if that ocelot has a path to the outside. For more information on pathing, I really suggest you watch this guy named Pi's videos. I've been watching his videos lately, and he has some really interesting and amazing things that he's done with pathing with mobs. Really cool information that you should check out. So the floor opener is basically just this simple redstone. If you step here, it can be flush with the ground. As you can see, you just place this, and it's flush. With this flush floor opener to drop into that pit, it's a pretty simple system. All you have to have is a redstone input. I use a lever in this one instead of the proximity detector. And then you have 4 pistons facing in on either side, and then 2 pistons facing up on either side, such that the 4 pistons, when pushed in, will put those 4 pistons in the center that are facing up next to each other in a square. Then you just place the blocks on top of them. The only important thing that you need to note here is that these pistons, the 4 that are facing upward, need to be activated whenever they make it to the middle. It doesn't matter when, as long as they are activated when they make it to the middle. And the second important thing to note is that the pistons on the side have to be activated by a 3-tick repeater delay after these. So first these are retracted, and then after a 3-tick repeater, these 4 are retracted. And the same opposite effects here. To make this part flush, all you have to do is just put a repeater down. So we'll put repeaters like this instead, and it does the same thing. And that does exactly the same thing, except for this one is actually flush with the ground for a longer distance. Next, I'd like to show you how to build the wolf detector. It's pretty simple. You just have a tamed wolf, you attach him to a lead, and you attach him to a fence post. Then you can build some walls around it. You want to make it so that those walls make it so that there are 5 blocks in between the fence post and a pressure plate. So there's 1 block, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this wolf will sit on the 5th block. I'll tell him to stand for now so I can place that pressure plate. And then we want to wall him in so that he can't go anywhere else but that pressure plate. And then I'll give him a step up here because he's not supposed to be on that side. Go in. Alright, now that he's in there and blocked in, that is that whole thing. This can be enclosed if you'd like it to be. And this wolf will try to get to me as soon as I get within 13 blocks away, as explained in this video over here. He will continue to try to get to me until I get within 2 blocks of him. For more details on that, I can show you. The problem is, even though he does want to get to that pressure plate, he steps on and off of it, which isn't very good for redstone. So what we do to remedy that is we make a little extender. So for example, pretend I'm a wolf, and I just step on this pressure plate and I get off quickly. That signal doesn't really last long enough to do anything super useful, so what I do is I use a simple extender. To make an extender, all you have to do is place a redstone here, and then alternate with repeaters and blocks right next to this line of redstone. So we have a repeater, a block, a repeater, and then blocks. These blocks allow these repeaters to transmit that signal back over to this line of redstone, and then we'll put these repeaters on the max delay, and then do the same thing, and that light will be on much longer, as long as it takes those repeaters to make it all the way through. We'll just see that again. And that light stays on for quite a bit longer. That's long enough to do something useful. And this is just the same thing, with the redstone more hidden and useful underneath. An effective and more hidden way to use this pressure plate is just to put the redstone underneath it, and then you can attach that to pistons like I did over here. This is the exact same apparatus that I did for the falling trap, only the wolf would step on the pressure plate instead of me. So the tunnel is right here, that pit, and as long as the wolf is stepping on that pressure plate, those slime blocks will stick in there, and I'll just show what it looks like, so that we bounce instead of fall to our death. Over here I have a little trap, and I'll turn it on. Basically what you do is, all you have to do is, to get to your base, you have to go through this little tripwire mechanism, and I'll turn it on so I'll show you what happens. If we hit this tripwire, zombies spawn, and they will keep spawning, and they will keep spawning until we turn it off, just by putting that red torch there. But it gets kind of crazy, kind of fast, because those zombies trip that tripwire as well, which makes them spawn even more zombies. So let's kill all the zombies. Okay, now that that's over, why would we want to trap our base? Well, the thing is, we can make it so that it only triggers when other people use it, but not us. And we can do that using a NOT gate. Well, what's a NOT gate? I can show you here. Okay, I'll show you a NOT gate. So, if we have a regular redstone input here, we'll have a lever and a torch, and right here is our output. Now, this torch will affect this redstone right here, and let's put a piston there just to show that it's working to do something. To make a NOT gate, all you have to do is add another input and another torch. And as long as that second input has that torch on, no matter what we do to this, that's not going to work. But as soon as we turn it off, this one will again work. And we're going to employ the same concept using wolves. So, just like before, in order to get a long enough signal, we have to have a little bit of an extender on this. So here's what we're going to do. The pressure plate's right here, which is making that wolf be within 17 blocks of where you might stand in order to trigger it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put redstone right under here. Now the redstone is underneath the pressure plate, leading up. And we want this redstone to trigger a NOT gate. So let's make a NOT gate here. And all we have to do is attach this to that redstone right over there. Alright, and One more. Just to invert the signal, which is, so this is on all the time, and as soon as that wolf hits that pressure plate, it'll turn that NOT gate in the off position, which will prevent these from going. So we have it hooked up, but that's not going to be a long enough pulse. So here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to extend this, make it a little bit longer, just so that we can put in a little bit of an extender. So here we'll have our extender. And again, to extend it, all we have to do is alternate with repeaters and blocks. And here we go. We'll put those repeaters on the longest setting. And we can even add a little note block over here so that whenever our wolf triggers that pressure plate, he will make a little note telling us that it's over. That just prevents this from being a circle. Alright, so let's get out of wolf range. Okay, we're out of wolf range. Coming into wolf range. As soon as we're within wolf range, that signal will light up and we can trip these and we're good to go. Now that wolf is still triggered, so we can go back. And let's pretend to be somebody else. I'll make the wolf sit off of the pressure plate, which is effectively the same thing, and see if it works, just to test. And there we go, it works. Alright, come on wolf, come on wolf. And it just goes really, really, really bad. Let's see what happens in survival. Swarmed. Swarmed by flaming zombies. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up. And please comment down below if you have any suggestions for what you'd like me to do next. Also, let me know if you have any suggestions or questions about these trap ideas.